Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
I am Kevin, and I'm from Idaho Falls. It's important for the disabled to be vaccinated because of COVID. I chose to be vaccinated because I didn't want to be sick or in the hospital. Getting the vaccination, my experience was painless and worth it. It was a very wise choice.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Folks, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news? You just took that selfie with poison ivy. Good news, someone gets to use their coverage from Your Health Idaho. Quality coverage for as low as $0 a month.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Welcome to the Ryerson Family Backyard Games. There will be obstacles to face and challenges to overcome. Are you ready?
Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch. Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Funds are limited. Apply today at nextsteps.idaho.gov/launch. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
This is not what I asked for.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Give the gift of college savings this holiday season with Ideal, Idaho's 529 college savings program. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
I love it. Thank you.
College costs money.
Welcome to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2023 Idaho High School Football Playoffs presented by the Idaho Transportation Department and Ideal, Idaho's college savings program. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Valley-wide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Your Health Idaho, and of course, your local Toyota dealer. Tonight we come to you live from Holt Arena. The Meridian Warriors will take on the Highland Rams. This is a matchup that took place earlier this year as well. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. My name's Lance Taylor. I'm joined by Sean Kane today. And, Sean, we look at these two teams as a matchup that took place early in the season. Meridian comes away, with just the slight win on that. It was an odd game. It was a game where both teams scored on their first possession of the ball, on the first two possessions of the ball game, and then nothing till finally late in the third quarter. Meridian puts another score up on the board. But what was weird was this. It wasn't like the defense was what was stopping the offenses. It was just miscues on offense, bad passes, bad runs, fumbles, things like that. That it was just ugly. And these are two very opposing styles of teams. You got a Meridian team, you look at Zeke Martinez, he's a run-pass combo, but they still run. They're a 5A team. Rarely do you see the wing T in the 5A division. You see a lot of the 2A division, even some of the 3A division, but rarely do you see it at the 5A division, especially because they're really not undersized, and it's something that you kind of use if you're undersized. However, they're very effective at it. Well, for Highland, they're a high-octane offense. They're a score-quick offense, and so the fact that it was such a low-scoring game was just odd.
Yeah, definitely. Just 49 days since these last time these two teams played. And one thing I will say about that Meridian-Highland game, Jackson Riddle, the great running back from Highland, didn't play most of that game.
That's right.
Only the first quarter. And, a lot of people would say that had a huge effect maybe on Highland's offensive side of the ball.
It did. In fact, he didn't even come out for the second half. Yeah. He didn't even come out to the sideline in the second half.
And I will say about Highland's defense, last week against Oahe, the defense, pitched a shutout in the second half, and they've done a good job. But when I look at this Meridian team, I just look at a team that finds a way to win, 24-23 win over Mountain View last week. They've just found ways to win. They're trying to find another way to get back into that state championship game.
Well, Zeke Martinez, he even started as a freshman because of an injury actually to his brother that gave him the starting job there as a freshman. He's doing a great job at quarterback. They played for the state championship last year. They played against a Rigby team that got eliminated last week up at Eagle. But Meridian, they just found a way, and it's like you said, they got into that state championship game last year and led for most of that ball game against a Rigby team that came back and beat them again for consecutive state championships. But when you look at Meridian, they're big, they've got some speed, but they're a team that kind of methodically works their way down the field. They take off a lot of time on the clock to get into the end zone. So really, one of their keys to victory, as you look at it, they do not want to get in a track meet with Highland. Highland can put up points quickly. We know that. So they've got to control the time of possession, and for Meridian, absolutely no turnovers. You cannot have turnovers tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I think it's kind of been the case of the season, right? Highland is averaging 34 points a game, only giving up 14. They're 9-1. Meridian, again, is kind of how they've been all year. They score 30 and they give up 21. So a lot of their games have been those close battles. So I think a key for Meridian is not to get down early. If Meridian gets down early, it could be trouble. And for Highland, I think a key for Highland is to play hard offensively the whole game and not leave the door open for a Meridian team that's found a way to open a lot of doors this season.
Yeah, in fact, I've had Highland now 4 times this year, including this game. They have got to be, if not the best, one of the best first half teams that I've seen all year long. However, they've probably had more struggles in the second half than any team I've ever watched. They just, I don't know if it's a motivation thing, if they're just taking their foot off the gas like you had mentioned at one time, but their keys to victory, they've got to get up early. So there's opposite. They've got to get up early and then don't slow down. Okay, the last time these two teams played, they got up early, and then it was miscue after miscue after miscue, just a struggle for them, and you just can't do that. And then the other thing they've got to do, their offensive line, 275, 277, 300, 315, very similar to kind of what we saw with the Sugar Salem team that just got off the field last time. Big offensive line, they have to protect their quarterback, Drew Hymas.
Yeah, and Drew Hymas is, that dual threat type of quarterback too. He can run it, he can throw it, he can pitch it back. He's also a great punter, one of the best punters in the state right now, averaging about 40 yards per punt. So, if you protect Drew Hymas, and I think, really a key for Highland, if it was a Riddle, it'd be Jackson Riddle, and if they get that Riddle going, they'll be able to do really well. I think he's really kind of what makes Highland roll. If Riddle's rolling, that pass to Barrera, other things start rolling. So I like Highland if Riddle can get going early.
So Meridian 7-3 on the season, 5-0 in the Southeast Idaho Conference. They knocked off Middleton, Timberline, Highland. Of course, this is the rematch, 21-14. Centennial, Rocky Mountain, Capital, and Mountain View. Okay, and they beat Mountain View in the playoffs last week, 24-23, after losing to Mountain View earlier on in the season. They lost to Eagle twice, Mountain View once. So those are their losses on the season, but they knocked off Mountain View, avenged that. Their leading receiver on this team is Griffin Deere, very good receiver. Leading rusher is actually Zeke Martinez, and also on their all-purpose yards as well. And you see that a lot when you run that wing tee. And it's going to be Meridian, that won the toss, elected to defer to half number 2. They're going to kick it off, and Highland is going to receive this ball to start. This one's going to go out of bounds. It's going to draw a penalty. It's going to come out to the 35-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Highland Rams. Of course, for Highland, we talk a lot about Drew Hymas and the great quarterback that he is. Jackson Riddle, very good running back. Ridge Barella, receiver, also does some running as well. But you can't forget about Tyson Beckles, who comes in and just does some great things for them. In fact, when Riddle has been out of the games, when he's had some problems, and we saw it in the second half against Pokey earlier this year, and then in the second half when these two teams played, comes in, Beckles just does a great job in replacement.
Yeah, definitely. And Kai Callan can come in and be the speedster too for this Highland team.
He can, both offensively and defensively. Pass goes out to Jackson Riddle. It's a pass rather than a run. Picks up 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Highland Rams. Once again, Lance Taylor, Sean Kane bringing you the action here on IdahoSports.com. You can log on to IdahoSports.com for all the high school news and information that you want. We'll try to keep you abreast of the other games that are going on right now around the state, as it is playoff time. And right now, at the halftime, it's Coeur d'Alene 7, Eagle 0. They give it to Riddle again. He picks up a yard on the play. Sean, we talk about the size of this team from Highland. Well, Meridian's got some big boys of their own.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell just by looking here that Meridian's got a good size defensive line, and size could be important here as this game goes on.
We'll talk about the past resumes, the historical resumes of these two teams as well as time moves on. It's Hymas from the shotgun. He's got twins right, single left, and we're going to get a false start. You saw that happen, and I think the false start that time was actually on the center.
Yeah, it looked like he moved. The center of Highland did, and
it looked like he kind of started to hike that ball and then held off a second, realizing it wasn't the time, but drew the defense off, and it's a false start.
Almost kind of like he leaned forward and caught himself with the ball, you know what I mean?
And Highland goes from a manageable 3rd and 5 to a tough 3rd and 10. As now that certainly changes the play call. Yeah, we see a different setup. Now we got trips right. Nobody left, one in the backfield. Going left to right as we call it and you hear it. And it's Hymas, he fakes the handoff. He's going to cut up through the middle. He's going to take the run. They're going to bring him down as he only picks up 4 yards on the play. And this is surely going to bring a punt.
And like I mentioned, Drew Hymas will be on duty for punting as well. A nice job by Meridian.
Yeah, Riley Byington on the tackle. And Byington's one of those names, Sean, that we will call a lot defensively today. And this brings up fourth. You know, the one thing you have when your quarterback is your punter, you always have that that possibility that they're going to fake it on you. This is no fake. Punt goes up all the way back to number 1, Cole Jones. He'll let it bounce. It's going to come down. It takes a good Highland bounce down to the 9-yard line, where Meridian will take over 1st and 10. Big Judd's is one of the most fun and unique dining experiences in Idaho. They hand make burgers, patties every single day and only use fresh local produce. And of course, Big Judd's only uses Idaho potatoes for their famous fresh cut fries. By the way, if you're up to the challenge, try the Big Judd special world famous 1-pound burger with all the fixings, plus a basket of large fries. Finish it in less than 30 minutes and get your picture on the Wall of Fame. Stop in and say hi, Big Judd's at 3030 East Overland Road, right by Majestic Theater in Meridian. Big Judd's is Meridian proud to support student athletes. Of course, Judd Nieder, Big Judd, good friend of mine. Started his first one up by Rexburg's, got one up in Ashton, Idaho as well, as we have a penalty flag, and this might be a free play. We'll see as Zeke Martinez goes out to the right side, able to pick up a couple yards on the play. If it's a defensive offside, they'll, of course, take the penalty instead.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but great punt by Drew Hymas. Pin Meridian back here.
Now it looks like it's going to be on Meridian as they looked over to see if the Highland offense or the Highland sideline wanted to decline it or not. So they're going to call it a false start. Funny they didn't blow the play dead.
Yeah.
On that. That was called by referee Blair Peepo. He showed us there. He's joined tonight by J.C. Mika, Marshall Marler, Brent Martin, Brian Miller, Kyle Martin, and Chad Wheeler. That is your officiating crew for tonight. Known Blair Peepo for many, many a year now. Martinez comes back, hits his receiver. It's Cole Jones. Jones brought down right out about the 9-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for Meridian.
And what's on display right now is that Highland defense that pitched the shutout in the second half against Hawaii in the playoff game last week. And you know, the Highland defense is, you know, it's not a defense of Highland that you're normally talking about, but I think very underrated. You have Kai Callan at DB, you have Colton George as the linebacker. You've got a lot of guys that make it very difficult to do anything.
Well, they've gone with a little bit of a different starting lineup throughout the season with the defense, because it used to be they started 270, 277, 275, 277, 300, and 315. They've gone actually a little bit smaller with this group for speed. To the outside they go. Pass is complete to Cole Jones. That's good enough for a 1st down for Meridian. Meridian gets out across the 20-yard line, and Cole Jones picks up the 1st down.
And you mentioned this name, Tyson Beckles. He's playing a little bit of linebacker tonight and sometimes some defensive end, but he's a quick guy to have there too. You'll see Tyson Beckles on both sides of the ball, and it'll be interesting to see what he does on this defensive side of the ball tonight.
Well, and Beckles in their top 3 in tackles. You got George, Eunice, and Beckles at 73, 68, and 67 tackles on the season. So he gets in and causes disruption, no question about it. From the shotgun is Martinez. He's got twins right, single left, man in motion. It is number 5, Beard. We're going to get the handoff. It's going to be a cutout to the outside. Still on his feet, but finally brought down is number 2, Marco Del Rio. That's a name we called a lot in the first matchup between these two teams.
And who was in on that first initial trip up was Kai Callan.
Yeah.
Made about a 15-yard dash to catch up there, and nice job by Kai Callan.
Yeah, Kai Callan, just one of those well-rounded players that can hurt you offensively and defensively, and he does what I call a sneaky hurt on offense. He's not their offensive focus, but he's so fast and so athletic that all of a sudden they just throw a play to him here and there, and he just catches you off guard.
Yeah, really good on sweeps.
2nd and 8. It's Martinez on the keeper. He's going to be brought down early, and it looks like it's Tyson Beckles on the tackle. He goes right up that A-gap on the right side. Beckles is waiting for him, picks up a couple yards on the play, brings up a 3rd and 6.
And that's what the Highland defense does well, is they don't make a lot of mistakes in that middle front part where the linebackers pick up the tackles. You're going to have to make a lot of moves to get away from them.
So on this 3rd and 6, Zeke Martinez, again, he started since he was a freshman in this program. His older brother got hurt during the first game of the season that year, and so Zeke came in, did a good job last year with this group that made it all the way to the state championships before falling to Rigby. He drops back in the back. He's got single coverage on the outside. He's going to run it instead. Picks up some positive yards, and he's brought down, but not until he gets a first down, and the ball, it looked like, was fumbled. However, I think the officials are going to call him down before the fumble came out.
Yeah, Zeke Martinez went down and did the old-fashioned extend the arm for the first down, right? And the ball comes out, but he was down, and first down it is.
Well, and the ground can't cause the fumble as it is. Yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to test Brennan Carlson out here on the near side. He is the near side corner, and they've had some one-on-one receiving opportunities against him here. Again, much of kind of what we saw last game here in the Dome with Sugar Salem and Weiser. We see, a lot of one-on-one coverage on the outside because your linebackers have to stay up tight because of the style of offense. Del Rio takes a loss of a yard on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Warriors of Meridian. John on the rebound. Pardon me. Did I say rebound? We're close to the football season there. On the tackle.
Yeah, John and running through those gaps just down the middle against Highland is just so difficult, and that's where they've been so solid all year. And I could see Meridian's kind of doing the little uppercuts, little jabs, and maybe looking for a big one here.
5:33 remaining in quarter number 1. No score up on the clock. Meridian with the ball. It's 2nd and 11. Martinez has it. He's got single coverage on the outside, but his receiver went down. He came up. He got up and almost got the reception. It was number 1, Cole Jones. However, trying to recover from slipping down was just a little too much.
Yeah, and actually 2 Meridian receivers kind of had a play at it. There's one short and the one that it was actually intended to.
Yeah. The pass was far out to the right side of the field, which is opposite us. Again, it's right now Meridian going right to left as we see it, and you hear it. And Cole Jones on a great step-off cut just slipped on the turf here at Holt Arena and just couldn't recover quite enough to pick up that catch. It brings up 3rd and 11. We'll see if they use the legs of Martinez or if he's able to get the ball off to a receiver. He drops back, has his receivers open. The reception is good to number 4, Carver Martin. Martin knocked out of bounds by looked like number 11, Colton George. And Colton George, an official, looked at him and told him to quit taunting. He was looking at the receiver and giving a little bit of a sign to him, and now it's 4th down and 7 yards to go, and it's going to bring the shore punt for Meridian.
I mean, if I'm the opponent, I'm not taunting at Colton George personally. He's a big man.
Yeah, not ever am I going to do that. Of course, we saw a couple personal foul penalties in our previous game, and those hurt, as this was a low snap, and it gets blocked by Highland. It goes down inside the 5-yard line all the way to the 1, and it's picked up by Meridian. They are on the run. They can bring this back, and they're going to be dropped for a loss. It's out around the 24-yard line. Finally brought down by big number 52, Justice Harding, but I'll tell you what, that almost was completely disastrous for Meridian as that punt was blocked and went all the way down to the goal line before being picked up and ran back.
Yeah, you thought Highland was for sure going to get a safety there, right? They were going to tackle Meridian in the end zone, and
if not jump on it and get a touchdown
or not get a touchdown. And nice job by Meridian just to get it back out, and what a turn of events.
Howell Orthodontics in Meridian welcomes patients of all ages with their family-friendly atmosphere, from a 7-year-old's first orthodontic consultation to a teenager's braces or Invisalign treatment, all the way up to mom and dad getting their turn later in life. Howell Orthodontics will keep you smiling through all of your appointments. They also make paying for your treatment a breeze by offering low down and 0% interest financing. Browse their website to learn more about braces, treatment solutions, and even about their awesome team members. Go to HowellOrthodontics.com and see why Howell Orthodontics creates smiles worth celebrating. Tyson Beckles was down on the field after that block. He's walking off primarily on his own power. Now he's going to skip off and run. But he'll at the very least have to come out for one play because they stopped the game on his behalf.
Got Tyson Beckles get the crowd involved with his little runoff, but I'm glad he's okay.
And immediately the crowd started cheering, and it was probably twofold. Cheering, one, because he was okay. Cheering, two, because it was just kind of a cool pump-up.
Yeah, and now Highland's going to take over with a great field position after that block bunt.
Jackson Riddle in the backfield. Twins left, single right. Man in motion. They're going to go to Riddle. He's going to sneak up behind his blocker. He's not going to pick up a lot on this play, but he's going to get 2 yards, which will bring up a 2nd and 8. And Jackson Riddle on that, he might have even been lucky to get that 2 yards out of that play as the Meridian defense stepped right up into that A gap on the left side and stopped the run.
Jackson Riddle is one of the best cutback running backs. He's able just to turn on a dime and do the cutbacks as good as anyone right now. And like you said, that's about the only reason he got any positive yards.
Riddle averaging 117 yards per game, has 11 touchdowns running. And a non-shabby stat as well, as Hymas averages another 44 yards per game, and he's got 4 TDs rushing. We're going to get a timeout by Highland. It is their first charged timeout of half number 1. Donajeka, MLO 13100, certified mortgage advisor with Clear Mortgage, is committed to working with clients from a never-give-up mindset. Dona is a native Idahoan and has worked in mortgage lending for 28 years. Clear Mortgage powered by City First Mortgage. NMLS 3117 is licensed in 46 states and offers a variety of lending choices to suit your needs. Dona is local in Meridian and would love to chat about your home loan needs. 208-794-3371. Donajeka at Clear Mortgage is proud to support Meridian High School athletics. Donajeka NMLS 13100. Valley Office Systems is proud to support the Highland Rams as well, and we'll get more from them in just a moment. Teams back out on the field. 4:21 remaining in quarter number 1. No points put up on the board yet. Highland with the ball is 2nd and 8. The Rams just coming out of their first timeout. Hymas goes back, has his man, is stepped in the middle and almost picked off. It was tipped away by Meridian's number 8, Levi Catt, and then almost picked off by a linebacker who had dropped clear back.
Yeah, off two players of Meridian had the ball in their hand at one point after that tipped pass or bounced off pass.
Brings up 3rd and 8. And that pass was essentially thrown into triple coverage.
Covered very well by Meridian.
Drew Hymas had good protection in the backfield. Jackson Riddle, also the all-purpose yards leader for this team. His all-purpose is 179 yards per game. From the shotgun, it's Hymas. He looks up the middle of the field, goes out to the left side. He's going to run it. He's going to get close to the first down. He picks it up. He's down near the 7-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him officially on the 8, and it's going to be 1st and goal Rams.
And that's where Drew Hymas is so dangerous, right? He has the option to throw it, run it, hand it off. He's done a really good job this year of making those choices, and right there it just showed the wheels of Hymas.
Well, and the defensive line went to their left, which is the offensive right. All secondary was committed to a receiver, and he had that open lane to run. He took advantage of it. He probably might have been able even to dance a little bit and eventually get a pass off. But he took it, he saw the opening. And now it's 1st and goal from the 8-yard line, the Rams. In the backfield, it's Riddle. Twins right. Out to the right side they go, and he's going to keep it. Being Drew Hymas, he's going to keep it. Gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. What will be 2nd and goal from the 1. Great legs by Drew Hymas these last 2 snaps to get his team, first of all, in a 1st and goal situation, and now down on the 1.
Yeah, nice job by Hymas. He's just able to push through, and he's so quick. I think he's like very surprisingly quick how Drew Hymas is. You talk about Kai Callan, Rich Barrera as the speedsters. Drew Hymas, if all three of them got on a race, it'd be pretty interesting.
Maybe we can set that up at halftime. We'll say, hey, guys, come out about a minute early. We just want to check your 100-meter dash.
Yeah, we've got the timer ready to go here.
Up under center now. It's Hymas. He goes from the shotgun unless it's a situation like this. Hands it off to Beckles. Beckles has come back into the ballgame, and I'll tell you what, he gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage on a great defensive assignment by Meridian. On the on the stop, it was 59 Carson Gooley for Meridian.
Carson Gooley, a senior, 5'11", 225 pounds. I tell you what, he looks a little bigger than that.
I was going to say, he looks to go more than 225. I'm saying maybe 260. Up under center again. This time they go to Riddle, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield as he gets dropped back at the 9-yard line. Looks like they're going to give him some forward progression and put him at the 6. But this brings up a 4th and goal from the 6-yard line, and I'd imagine we're going to see Eunice come on the field and kick a field goal.
And what a job by 22 Riley Byington of Meridian to get that tackle, burst of speed, nice job. And
Byington, as we mentioned before, we're going to call his name a lot in this ball game on the defensive side of the ball. Number 21, Eunice, checks on. Zarek Eunice, second leading tackler on this team as well, and he has a leg. This kick is up. This kick is good. No, they're going to say it's off. It looked good from our side, and I'll tell you, Meridian kind of big break there, and they are pumped, as that is very uncanny for Zarek Eunice.
Yeah, you'd call that in pretty much easy money for Eunice, and it went right of the post. Yeah, it kind of looked like it was good from our point of view, but it was wide, and I would bet Eunice hasn't missed one that close all year.
You know, between the name Zeke Martinez and Zarek Eunice, we've used the letter Z more times in this game and earlier in the season in this game than we probably have the entire year.
Maybe in my entire life. You know, I'm not the academic guy here at Idaho Sports, but
Nick Sorrell and his Highland Rams went 9-1 this year, 3-0 in conference. Of course, their only loss coming to this Meridian team. They were the 5A District 5-6 champions. I'll tell you, they got a little scare, though, at a really down Thunder Ridge team towards the end of the season. Thunder Ridge really struggled this year. A little botch in the backfield on the handoff. It's number 22, Riley Byington, who made the great defensive stop on the other side of the ball, who had the run here. Good enough for a 2-yard gain. Eunice in on the tackle. George, the other one, in on the tackle too, and which is kind of a neat matchup because you got George and Eunice, the top 2 tacklers on the team. George with 73 and Eunice with 68.
And Eunice has a few interceptions as well too this year. Couple for touchdowns.
In fact, he's got 4 on the season. We saw him get 2 in one game earlier this year. One of them was a pick 6.
Yeah.
In the backfield, it's going to be Byington again. And Byington runs out, picks up the first down, gets about a 11-yard run, 10-yard run on the play. Ball now is going to be placed on the 32-yard line on their own side of the field, right hash mark, 1st and 10 Meridian.
And this Meridian offense reminds me a lot of West Side's kind of offense, how they kind of run the ball in that kind of wing T set, and a lot of deception, misdirection, and it's kind of interesting to see it here at the 5A level.
They've got 2 eligible receivers on this play. Up under center is Martinez. He pops to the back, hands it over to number 2, Del Rio. Del Rio gets brought down for a loss on the play. It's a 1-yard loss. However, we do have a penalty flag as it sits. It should bring up a 2nd and 9. Pardon me, there was no loss on the play. It was a 1-yard gain. Should bring up a 2nd and 9. They're going to call it a false start. You know, it's been odd. We've seen a couple false starts in this ball game that they've let the play go rather than calling the play dead. Five-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage brings up 1st and 15. Our good friend Matt Harris, great PA announcer. He is also the athletic director at Highland High School. He's on the PA tonight here from Holt Arena, the beautifully remodeled Holt Arena. And we come to the end of quarter number 1. And your score, the Rams 0, the Warriors 0. but it's Meridian with the ball. Valley Office Systems is proud to support the Highland Rams. They don't just sell you equipment. Yes, they offer great solutions like copiers, printers, and software, but they're a service company above all else. They're committed to providing their clients the right solution for their needs with amazing customer service and support no matter what. That's Valley Office Systems. Franklin Building Supply is a proud supporter of local student athletes and all the building professionals of Eastern Idaho. Their friendly and knowledgeable team is ready to help make your project a success from start to finish. Franklin Building Supply in Pocatello, it's worth the trip. Bringhurst Family Dentistry offers affordable, complete dental care for your whole family and has been serving Pocatello for over 40 years. New patients are always welcome and emergency care is available. They'll take care of you and your family. Areas that they can help, which include professional teeth whitening, implants, bridges, braces, extractions, and dentures. Bringhurst Family Dentistry is located at 1175 Call Place, Suite 200 in Pocatello. You can also call them today at 208-232-1260. Maybe not today, since it's almost 9 o'clock, but you get the drift. 208-232-1260, Bringhurst Family Dental. Shout out to all of our sponsors here on IdahoSports.com that help us bring these games to you, the fans. Coming out for quarter number 2. It's Meridian with the ball. Martinez hands it off again to number 22, Riley Byington. In their first matchup this year, the majority of the carries were by Martinez, Del Rio, Cole Jones, but we're seeing Byington thrown in the offense early in this game, a lot earlier than he was in their previous matchup.
And yeah, maybe, it's just kind of a nod to the Meridian coaches that find, that he's effective against the defense of the Rams. But yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just kind of got to do something maybe a little different, right, in the playoffs.
Dropping back in the backfield. And finally giving it with a good cut, and it is Cole Jones, but he ends up with basically no gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 as he was fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tried to go out to the left side. It was a fake handoff and then goes to him, and as he gets out that left side, it just collapsed. It turned him upfield.
And that's been the MO for the Highland defenses. They're very good at collapsing those holes or any kind of gap in the offense, and it's been on display tonight. There's just not been much running room
for
Meridian.
Well, and what happens there, your defensive end, your outside linebacker come up, and their job isn't necessarily to make that tackle, but to turn them to the inside where they've got help on that, and that's exactly what they did. So it's 3rd and a long 12, short 13. Martinez from the shotgun, twins left, twins right. He goes across the middle, he has his open receiver for a first down, and still on his feet, finally brought down. Number 1, Cole Jones, pardon me, yes, it was Cole Jones. Brought down by number 2, Cannon Coons. Cannon Coons, first time we've called his name, but more importantly for Meridian, they're out to the 49-yard line on their own side of the field, 1st and 10.
Yeah, big first down for Meridian there. Able to get out of that hole, right? Kind of a hole by a penalty in the defense of Highland, but nice job, nice pass, and Zeke Martinez's arm looked very accurate right there.
Yeah, it did. Showing that he can do both. Once again, they're going to go with more of a spread. Trips left, single right. He's going to have one receiver in single coverage. And Martinez keeps it. Goes to the outside, still on his feet after a mixed tackle and then knocked out of bounds. He was finally brought out of bounds, that time by number 34, Hudson John. But Martinez ends up picking up 4 crucial yards on that play.
Yeah, just that delayed, whether he was going to hand off or take it himself, Martinez caused just enough disruption. And then Martinez's moves able to kind of turn almost nothing into something.
Great block on the right side of the line by Landon Cam, as Cam was able to turn his defender in. Opened up some space on the outside. Martinez again from the shotgun. He pops back, looks to his left, is forced out to his right. Now being chased in the backfield is Martinez. He's got some open yardage in front of him. He chooses to throw the ball, and it works out good as he hits number 4, Carver Martin. I think Martinez could have ran for the first down. He chose to pass it, And certainly if the pass had not have been complete, that would have been one that he had said, I'd have loved to have had back and run for that, but it worked out great.
Yeah, and if Martinez would have run it, who knows when he would have gotten stopped, because there was a huge gap. He could have either went down the sideline or maybe cut into the middle. So nonetheless, still a first down.
Up under center this time. Now they're going to give it to Byington. He comes off the right tackle, and we're going to get a face mask that's going to move this ball farther downfield. Flags came in from 4 different officials, and there's a couple of those officials that if they saw that face mask, they weren't watching some of the things that they should have been watching on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say every flag I think that could possibly be thrown was thrown.
The far line judge, I think, is the only one. No, he threw his as well. Wow. So the reason why the extra penalty flags came in is that there was a holding, there was a face mask on the defense, holding on the offense, and they offset. So we're going to replay that down, 1st and 10. Ball right now on the 38-yard line on the Highland side of the field. I thought if all those were for the face mask we saw, there was some other things that weren't being attended to on the field. And Blair People, great official, he's your referee tonight. He came up and clarified it for everybody.
Yeah, a lot of flags, but great job by the officiating crew to, in a timely manner, get it sorted out, and here we go.
Headed back to that spread offense. Popping in the backfield is Martinez. He's being pressured. He's being pushed out and chased down to the side, has his receiver. Looked like it was no good. It was out of bounds. That was intended for number 11, Griffin Deere.
And I think if it's anyone but Zeke Martinez, Highland has a couple sacks at this point. He's done a great job with his feet to avoid some disaster.
And he's got good, he's not necessarily open field scary fast, but he's quick. And both of those fall into the speed category. But his quickness his lateral movement is very good in that pocket, and he can off-step a defender simply with a lateral step.
Yeah, his lateral movement for a 200-pound quarterback is phenomenal.
Trips right, single left in the backfield. They have blocking duty, and he has a receiver who had some stretch out. Okay, it was Griffin Deere again, and Griffin had some separation on his receiver, or on the defender. If Martinez would have been able to hit him in stride, that would have been a short touchdown for Deere.
Yeah, Martinez is going to wish he had that throw back, just overthrew the intended receiver just a little bit.
Well, and I like that call because they were going to have single coverage over there. They had trips to the right, which had pulled essentially one of the safeties over, plus a linebacker, an outside linebacker, and they had that single coverage to the left. They've got it again right now with Carver Martin if they want it. We'll see where they go. It's 3rd and 10. Martinez keeps it. He gets out close to the first down marker, brought down about 2 yards shy. It'll bring up a 4th and 2, and this is typically go-for-it territory. Heck, this might be go-for-it territory in college football as well. It's on the 30-yard line, which is certain field goal territory in a lot of your colleges and, of course, the NFL. But you'll see a lot of go-for-its here, too. And I would not be surprised, Sean, to see Zeke Martinez just keep it in his hands.
Yeah, with just 2 yards. And, you know, the Meridian offensive line's been doing a great job tonight, besides a few Highland players getting through. But for the most part, the line has done a good job, and I think you got to go for it here.
Crowd gets loud over on the Highland side of the stadium. We're going to get a snap here, and I think we get a timeout. We'll see exactly what the call is. I think it's going to be a timeout taken by Meridian. We'll see from Blair People exactly what that is. We're going to take a break here on IdahoSports.com as well. We'll be back. 8:03 remaining in quarter number 2. No score.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
8:03 remaining in quarter number 2. We're coming off of a Meridian timeout. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. Score update at 5A. Eagle now has scored. Now Coeur d'Alene leads in the third quarter 7-6. Once again in 3A, Sugar Salem earlier on here in the Dome punched their ticket to their 6th state championship appearance in a row. They've won 4 of the first 5. It's Martinez. We'll see where he gets. He might be just short of the marker. You know, we were talking about earlier in the game how it's, or earlier in the previous game, how it's good that the referees are now the ones that determine whether it'll get a measurement or not. I think we're going to get a measurement here.
It's going to be super. Oh no!
Oh boy, it's visually short enough. Yeah, it was visually short by maybe a half yard, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And once again, Meridian unable to get into the end zone, just the same as Highland has been. Of course, Highland missed a field goal on their last possession.
Yeah, once the pile moved and I could see where the ball was spotted, it definitely seemed short, but couldn't quite tell where the spot was going to be when the pile was there.
You know, neither one of these teams are insanely high-scoring teams. At basically 30 points for Meridian, 34 points for Highland per game, but their defenses are good. And we're seeing a low-scoring game because of it. So Hymas keeps it, picks up 3 yards on the play. Looks like they're going to call it 2 yards on the play or bring up a 2nd and 8 as the near side judge had him a little bit shorter than the far judge did. Now we're between the hashes near the left hash mark, going right to left as we see it and you hear it.
Yeah, in on that tackle, Carson Gooley, number 59 of Meridian. He's had a couple big hits so far in this game tonight.
Yeah, we've called his name on a couple different occasions. Ball now on the 31-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 8. Hymas from the shotgun. One in the backfield, trips right, single left. He's going to look to keep it again, pitches it back to Riddle. Riddle able to pick up a couple yards on the play, still on his feet. He breaks away from the defense, and now he's out in the open field, finally brought down by an ankle tackle deep into Meridian territory.
Wow, what a great job by Riddle. Thought he was going down right there and able to break through 2 Meridian defenders, and wow, what a run by Riddle. Just amazing effort there.
Well, and if Levi Catt deep in the secondary had not broke off of his block, he would have gone for a touchdown. But a great ankle tackle by Levi Catt. That's a great sports name, by the way.
And yeah, I have to be honest with you, Riddle almost went over him, and luckily just held on enough, or Riddle might have hurled him and went into the end zone.
So he went from the 31 on one side of the field to the 31 on the other side of the field. Dropping back is Hymas. Good defense by the receivers, or pardon me, by the defense. He goes to his check down receiver, and you know, this is one of those, it goes out to number 11, Colton George. And something interesting on that play is he caught it and then jumped backwards. You see receivers do that all the time. So you can't get forward progression in that scenario. That's one of those that you lose those yards.
Yeah, you just catch it and just go forward, and you might have gotten 3 or 4 more yards, but
as it is
by Meridian.
It was 3-yard gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 7. Hymas from the shotgun. Man in motion. They go to him around the outside. It's number 3, Barella. And interestingly enough, as Barella picks up some yards on this play, it'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Interestingly enough, that is the first time we have called Barella's name tonight, and Barella is a powerhouse in this offense.
Yeah, Barella is definitely a deep threat. He's good in those sweeping kind of run plays too, but someone you definitely got to keep your eye out.
He's only 5'8", not super tall, but he's also a good basketball player on this Highland team. Hymas again from the shotgun and out to the side. It looks like he's got his receiver, and he caught it. So Jackson Riddle with his 2nd reception of the game as well. Down inside the 20-yard line to the 19, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Highland Rams. Now we're down under 5.5 minutes in quarter number 2. Neither team has got up on the board, both desperate to do so. Really the only legitimate scoring opportunity either team has had tonight was a field goal attempt by Eunice and Highland, and he missed it.
Yeah, and it was right in Eunice's range, too, so, you know, points could be hard to come by as this game goes on.
It does. I think Highland just got away with a false start, and as it is, Hymas is going to go to the corner of the end zone. It's caught, but out of bounds is the receiver. Great defensive coverage that time by Levi Catt. We've already called his name defensively for a good ankle tackle that saved a touchdown. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
And you mentioned good names. The intended receiver was Cy Reno of Highland. I think that's a great sports name, too.
It is. Well, and then on the other side, you got Marco Del Rio. These are good sports names. Mine's boring. Lance Taylor. That's nothing special. Now, if they did LT like Lawrence Taylor was, now I can see that a little bit. But Lance Taylor, there's nothing special about that name. It's going to be a keeper this time by Hymas. He's going to come off the left side, went through the B gap on the left side, and then cut up the middle. Finally brought down by number 27, Davies Shellhouse.
Nice job by Shellhouse, because if he doesn't get that hit on Hymas, I think Hymas might take it all the way.
Yeah, it brings up a 3rd and 5 as he picked up 5 on that play. And now kind of back in the same scenario that they were the last time they got stopped on 3rd and then tried for the field goal. This time it's on the 15-yard line. Last time it was on the 11 when that happened. Pardon me, on the 9 when that happened. From the shotgun again. Twins right, twins left, one in the backfield. It's Riddle. From the shotgun, Hymas has it. Pitches it out to Riddle. Riddle cuts up, picks up the 1st down, and gets down to about it looks like he's going to be around the 6 or 7 yard line. They might even put him at the 8. Either way, it's going to be a 1st and goal. We do have a penalty flag on the field. As it sits, it's 1st and goal on the 8-yard line, which is the same 1st and goal they had earlier. But we'll see what the penalty flag is. It's probably going to be a holding. It is going to be a holding. It's a 10-yard foul. Now that's going to bring up now a 3rd and long, and what I would think would be a certain passing scenario. Remember, that's a spot foul, not from the line of scrimmage. It's a spot foul. So it's 3rd and 13. Now the Meridian fans here on our side of the stadium start to get loud. From the shotgun, and it is a pass, just like we called earlier. Good defense by the secondary of Meridian. It's going to be Hymas down. He has his receiver in the end zone. Uncovered was number 2, Cannon Coons. I believe that was Coons. It actually might have been Kai Callan. No, it's Barella, Ridge Barella. Those uniforms are a slight bit harder to read for us up here than the previous game.
Well, I'm telling you, I thought it was Ridge Barella to start with, but I thought there's no way he's wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, because they've spotlighted him defensively so that they could stop him. Like I said, we'd only called his name one time previous to that. As Eunice comes on, kicks the extra point, and our first score of this ball game comes at the 3:47 mark of half number 1 in quarter number 2. And wow, I mean, that was fantastic. Ended up being a 22-yard pass.
Yeah, I don't know how Barella got open, as Drew Hymas is almost tackled in the backfield, right? And what a job. Whoever was covering must have lost his assignment.
Primetime's Auctions in Pocatello is the place to be for all your bidding needs. They have something for everyone, from vehicles to plants to office equipment and electronics. Be sure to check Primetime Auctions before heading to the store. Chances are you are going to find something you're looking for. Bid anytime, anywhere online at primetimeauctions.com. And you know what? I hopped on there this last week. And that's a place that I'm sure, much to my wife's chagrin, that I'm going to end up spending quite a bit of time.
You know, one time I got in there and a restoration company had went out of business or something.
Yeah,
and
that's what I see.
And they had those gigantic fans.
Yeah.
And do I really need it? Probably not, but would it be great to have? Maybe.
Well, that's kind of my problem when I go into Home Depot. You know, I look at things as Eunice is going to kick it through the back of the end zone. I look at, I go into a Home Depot and I can't look at things in a scenario of, I would really like that. I'd really like that. I look at it and I'm like, oh, I have to have that. that has to be sitting in my garage at the end of the day.
Then you probably shouldn't get on that primetime auction website.
It's a good thing I don't gamble, because I might throw it all away if I do. As it is, we appreciate Primetime Auctions, and of course the rest of our local sponsors that we've talked about today too. Big Judd's, Howell Orthodontics, Dona Jaca, Valley Office Systems, Franklin Building Supply, Bringhurst Family Dentistry, and Lookout Credit Union. From the shotgun, Martinez going to go twin right, single left, 2 in the backfield. He's going to keep it. He's going to pop out, and he's going to get it off to Byington. And Byington now has played an excellent role in this ball game as he gets out for about a 15, 16-yard gain. Ball comes out to the 36-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10. And pardon me, it's a 16-yard gain. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 36 rather.
And Byington had one of the best stiff arms I've seen all year to turn that play into way more yardage than it should have been.
And sometimes those little short, like 2-3 yard passes are tough. It's like making a 1-foot pass in basketball. They're some of the toughest passes there because the defense is just right there to put their hands in it. Martinez did a great job, and Byington did the rest. Now from the shotgun, Martinez goes to the left side. He's flushed out to the right side. He's being chased now and finally brought down. It's going to be in the backfield, and guess who it is? Number 7, Tyson Beckles, a player that got injured earlier in the game. We didn't know how injured he was, but he's not too injured to get the loss in the backfield this time.
And Beckles making his presence known on the defensive side tonight. He's kind of been all over on the run and in the pass.
2-yard loss on the play brings up a 2nd and 12. 3:04 remaining in the first half of play. Our only score up on the board came in the 3:47 mark in the second quarter, that by Highland. Martinez again keeps it in his hands. He's got single coverage downfield. If it's on, it should be a reception. It is on. It is caught. What a fantastic catch down on the 17-yard line. That was by number 13, Parker Bunderson, and then Bunderson gets up and taunts right in the face of the defender and picks up a personal foul penalty that'll take 15 yards away.
What a great catch by Bunderson, and not a great move for the penalty, but what a throw by Zeke Martinez, just on a rope to Bunderson.
That pass could not have been more right on, and then Bunderson did something that we kind of saw in the first game where something positive happens and then a personal foul penalty, and that's exactly what happened here. They get a personal foul, so now instead of being on the 21-yard line, they find their way now outside of the 30, and that's big. This is a great teaching opportunity for any coach. And, of course, John Zamberlin has been around a long time. Coached here at Idaho State University. He's familiar with the dome here. But that's one of those you bring him and say, you know what? We haven't scored yet in this ball game. And you just put us in great scoring position with an awesome catch, and then you took us right out of it.
Yeah, you're basically in scoring position. Now you're just a little outside of it with that penalty.
To the corner they go again. This one's going to be overthrown, intended for Cole Jones. I think for Martinez, because of the pressure, the single pressure coming in the backfield, I think he got rid of that maybe a second earlier than what he was hoping to.
Yeah, Cole Jones had some separation and was open enough for that to be a connection, but just overthrown by Martinez. And nice job by the Highland defense to get the pressure. I mean, I think for Highland, a key of the game is you've got to pressure Martinez. You can't let him run or have too much time, or he's going to burn you.
He's too smart of a player to give him that much time in the backfield. And one of the things that we've noticed from up here where we sit is the Meridian receivers have been able to get separation on their routes. This time the pass is complete, and it goes down inside the 10, and it's going to be a touchdown for number 4, Carver Martin. However, we do have a penalty flag on the play. I believe this is going to be, I think essentially what happened was the defender for the receiver was picked off.
The old pick
play. The old pick play, I think, is what happened. The Meridian fans are upset, but it was fairly obvious if that's what it ends up being.
I think that they like to say, a rub play.
Yeah.
You're supposed to rub, not pick.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to call offensive pass interference, which is essentially what that was on that. As they came up, the defender was staying right with him, and all of a sudden he was blocked out of the play, and that's what opened up Carver Martin. And unfortunately for Meridian, what turned into a first and red zone position is now back near the midfield mark on the 47-yard line, where it's going to be second and Idaho Falls to go.
Yeah, maybe Income.
That's right.
Yeah, these are moments where in a close game you're going to look back and think we've got to be a little smarter.
Yeah. And it looks like Meridian's probably going to use their second time out of the first half. We'll see. It actually might be a yardage situation. I think they might have taken too much yardage off on this play for the penalty. I thought the penalty should actually have been placed at the 42-yard line rather than the 47-yard line, but I could be wrong on that, and it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for me to be wrong.
And nothing changes.
Okay, so they leave it on the 47. Martinez from the shotgun, twins right, twins left. We've seen this a lot today. One in the backfield. Blocking duty they're going to have. Pass goes out to Byington. He eludes one defender and is finally knocked out of bounds. He's knocked out of bounds by Eunice, second leading tackler on this team behind George for Highland. But again, Byington makes some yardage after the tackle by stepping off a defender first.
Yeah, Byington is, they talk about, after your contact point, yardage after contact. Byington is just, that's all his yardage. I mean, not huge passes, but after he's contacted, he's able to find more yards.
Well, and he had a great defensive play on a tackle for loss on a third down that put Highland in a field goal situation which they missed. And now on third and long, they get a big pass play that goes out to number 8, Levi Catt. Pardon me, that was Griffin Deere on that, and they're just 1 yard shy of the first down mark. And once again, just like they had before, they've got a 4th and 1.
Almost the same exact spot on the field.
If I'm Meridian on this play, I think I look to the outside. You've struggled a little bit up the middle. I think if you put Martinez on the move to the outside, that you can pick this up. Not that you couldn't pick it off the middle. And they didn't get it! They try to go off the left tackle. Martinez tries to go over the left tackle. That tackle went down to the ground, and the defender came in and made the play. I was not able to identify the defender, but that's the second time on a 4th and 1 that Meridian has been stopped by the Rams of Highland.
Yeah, and the Highland defense, that's 2 times they've stopped 4th and short, right? And just an amazing job by the defense. And the Highland defense is looking to get the player of the game for just the defense at this point.
Well, and even though it hasn't been a high-scoring game, minute 26 is plenty of time on the clock for Highland to move downfield because of their passing game. The defense has been good against passes today. And Hymas again, now he's being chased out of the backfield. He's able to get through a couple defenders, gets down to about the 30-yard line, where it will be a 2nd and 3. Picks up 7 yards on the play. They still have 2 timeouts left. They're going with a no huddle. No, they're going with a huddle in this situation. I'm surprised they're not using a timeout. This is not out of the range for this. And Coach Sorrell has really done a good job managing game clock. Now inside 1 minute they go, 55 to be exact.
Because Meridian will get the ball after halftime.
They will. It's Hymas. He goes downfield. It's going to be irrelevant. The pass is complete. It's a great reception to Barella, but we're going to get a holding in the backfield. This is going to come back for Highland. And this penalty flag is going to be on number 73, Bruce Galo, as he made the obvious hold. He's trying to plead his case, but from where we were, it looked like he grabbed the guy and just kind of threw him down.
And when they go down to the ground, it's almost automatic call. And, something that's a little different this game. There's been a lot more penalties in this game than.
Well, we were bragging during our last game that there was very few penalties, and that throughout this season, as you and I have called games together, we've never had that crazy high penalty game that you oftentimes get. So the holding, it's a spot foul, it's downfield a little bit. It brings it back to the 20-yard line. And so it's going to be a second and about 14. Clock is running. 29 seconds on the clock. Hymas from the shotgun again. They are going to have single coverage with one receiver on the right. Now he comes in motion. It's Barella. Dropping back is Hymas. He gets pressure in the backfield, and they bring him down for a loss on the play. And I don't think they're going to be too heartsick about this as they're just going to let the clock wind down. Highland knows they're not going to be able to get it back, so why not let it wind down? Go in for the half. And at the half, we've got a low-scoring affair. It's Highland 7. And it's the Meridian Warriors have yet to score. Had a couple good field positions, but unable to do so. So we got 15 minutes up on the clock for halftime, and we will be back on IdahoSports.com after this.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
Go. Yeah, let's go. All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
This is not what I asked for.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Give the gift of college savings this holiday season with Ideal, Idaho's 529 college savings program. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
I love it. Thank you.
College costs money.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
I am Kevin, and I'm from Idaho Falls. It's important for the disabled to be vaccinated because of COVID. I chose to be vaccinated because I didn't want to be sick or in the hospital. Getting the vaccination, my experience was painless and worth it. It was a very wise choice.
Former regional champ and back in training.
That's commitment.
Ow!
Oh, tough start. This is not as easy as it used to be, folks.
And she's off, obviously pushing through some pain.
Every muscle is begging her to stop. How's she doing this?
I'm not even sure she knows.
Look at her go. And stop.
Come on.
And go again.
It's literally the home stretch. Whoa!
She made it. Feel the elation.
What fuels that kind of fire?
Idaho Sports Nation, Ideal, Idaho's education savings program, is a proud partner of IdahoSports.com and an ideal way to save for college. Did you know it only takes $25 to start an Ideal 529 savings account and you get tax benefits? There is no better time than today to start saving for college expenses for you or for a loved one. Information and a full disclosure statement, including risks, terms, and conditions, can be found online. Please read carefully before investing. idsaves.org. Go save for college and go Idaho student athletes.
We're Valleywide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota Trucks.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Folks, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news? You just took that selfie with poison ivy. Good news, someone gets to use their coverage from Your Health Idaho. Quality coverage for as low as $0 a month.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Welcome to the Idaho Launch Halftime Show. Did you know current Idaho high school seniors are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money? Apply today. Idaho Launch, support in every direction. Lance Taylor, Sean Kane bringing you this halftime report. Not a lot as far as scoring up on the board. However, we've had some good defensive battles between these two teams. But then the Meridian did a couple things towards the end of the second quarter that just kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit.
Yeah, the penalties, and it's been a game of special teams, really, right? It's been a lot of special teams. Highland had a block, punt, had a missed field goal. Meridian had a good drive in the second quarter that was stopped badly by two big penalties, really.
Yeah.
Took them back 25 yards. They were on the 20, ended near the 50, and just not able to get the first down again. And then Highland, on the other hand, their defense has had two big stops on fourth down and short.
Fourth and one, yeah.
So, really a defensive battle here. Not a ton of offense and big play capability from both teams, but not a lot to show for it on the scoreboard.
Well, and really the play that I think hurt the most is you had Parker Bunderson, who had the best reception of the game for either team. Just a beautiful, fantastic reception. Put him down near the 20-yard line in the red zone, and then he stands up and taunts the defender who was on him, gets the immediate call. And that's one of those penalties that you talked about, one of those two penalties that really hurt him, that one being the first of that. And then, anyway, it was just a tough late second quarter for them. Our only score came at the 3:47 mark of quarter number two. That was a 22-yard reception to Barella. This was on a scramble play out to the far right side, almost to the sideline. It was Drew Hymas when he let go of that ball and found a wide open Barella. And, you mentioned in that you almost didn't think it was Barella because they played such good defense on him all game long. But you know what? When you have a quarterback that scrambles out and you give that guy 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball, it's tough to stay with the receiver for that long.
Yeah, and Barella is not a big guy. He's one of the shortest guys out there. So as Drew Hymas is moving around, dancing and weaving, Barella is able to find some room in that end zone, and he was wide open and found that touchdown. And, you have to credit Barella to probably coming off his route and going back to where his quarterback was going and making himself known. But Drew Hymas and Rich Barrera, they probably could close their eyes and throw it to each other at this point in the season.
Yeah, I think they could have, no question about it. Well, let's revisit what our keys to the game were. Keys to victory for Meridian were don't get in a track meet with Highland. I think so far so good on that. We're only a 7-0 game, so it hasn't been a track meet. It hasn't been bad because we know Highland can score quickly, but it's been a great defensive effort by Meridian, and it's been legitimate pass coverage, legitimate stopping the run, that's been able to put them there. Number 2 was control the time of possession. That's something they haven't necessarily done as far as being a game changer. We'll see as the game moves on what happens. And then the other one is absolutely no turnovers. And, in this scenario, of course, a punt was blocked. But they ended up with semi-recovery out of that, as it could have been just absolutely disastrous where the ball went. They picked it up, brought it back for some yardage, at least for some breathing room, as Highland took over. And then Highland, of course, misses a field goal attempt on that particular possession. So not necessarily terrible off of their keys to victory. Keys to victory to Highland was get up early and don't slow down. Because of the defense of Meridian, they just haven't been able to get up early, and they've only got the one touchdown.
Yeah, Meridian's defense has kind of held Jackson Riddle at bay, which I kind of thought was a key to the game for Highland, is to get Jackson Riddle involved early and often, and the defense of Meridian's been able to stop him.
Well, another one was stay consistent through all 4 quarters. As I've had, like I said, this is the 4th game that I've had Highland this year, and they haven't put together what I would say was a super impressive second half in any of those games. They have in other games, but they haven't in those games. They really need to have 4 quarters of good ball. And that doesn't mean you're scoring every quarter. So far, so good. Their defense has done a great job, and they've put points up on the board. So they are taking care of that, and then they've got to protect Drew Hymas, and they have done a sensational job of protecting Hymas. The first sack came in right on the last play of the first half, which they kind of gave it to him.
We weren't really trying to do anything. Typically in that scenario, Drew Hymas probably would have not just sat in there and taken it, but Highland was willing to let the time go by at that point, I think, to get into halftime.
For sure. Well, let's look elsewhere around the state what's going on right now at the 5A division. It's in the 4th quarter. Coeur d'Alene still maintains that 1-point lead over Eagle, 7-6. As we look at the 4A division, based upon the way the scores are right now, it will most likely be Bishop Kelly and Hillcrest. Both games are in the 4th quarter. Bishop Kelly's up by 10, 28-18 over Pocatello. Hillcrest is up by 10, 35-25 over Skyline. If that holds true, then that would be Bishop Kelly and Pocatello Bishop Kelly and Hillcrest in the state championship game.
And just tune in there, the Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com just went final. Bishop Kelly 28-18.
Yep, I just see that now as well. So 28-18, they win it. So Bishop Kelly has punched their ticket. Now, Bishop Kelly was number 1 from wire to wire as far as the coaches poll and media polls go throughout this year. However, they were the number 2 seed in the playoffs because we go by max preps once you get to the playoffs, and it's max preps where it sits at the end of the season. Hillcrest with that undefeated record, if they end up winning this game, and now it's 35-31 as Skyline has put another score up on the board, and I don't know if I'd imagine they'll attempt the extra point and just try to pull it within 3. But if it was Skyline and Hillcrest, it would be a all undefeated for a state championship. If it's Bishop Kelly and Skyline would have a chance to quad-peat.
Yeah, 4-peat.
It could be 4 in a row.
That'd be a fun t-shirt.
Right now, some teams that have already purchased or punched their ticket in the 2A division. That is all set. It is Westside. It is Declo. We anticipate that game happening right here in Holt Arenas. They're both teams, one from the kind of south central, the other one from right here on the east side of the state. In 3A, Sugar Salem in our previous game here in the Dome today knocked off 25-6, a very good, 25-7, a very good Weiser team. They've punched their ticket. The other half of that ticket won't be punched till tomorrow, as you have a great Teton team going out to face a great Homedale team as well. So both matchups in the semifinals were Mountain Rivers Conference against Snake River Conference for both of those for 3A. So that should be a good one tomorrow. As we said, as it sits right now, it looks like it'll be Bishop Kelly's already made it in, maybe Pocatello. At the 1A D1, Butte County has already made it in. At the 1A D2, Camas County has already made it in. The other 2 games will be decided tomorrow as well. And right now, for the 1A D2s, most people looking out there think that whoever's playing Kendrick in the championship, if Kendrick is to make it past tomorrow's game, we'll just be playing for second place, as Kendrick has knocked off handily the number 1 1A 1A D1 this year in Oakley. Oakley's only loss on the season. And then you got the scenario where they put up 112 points in a game and put up 90 last week. And guess what they held their opponent to? Zero.
Yeah. I wonder what Kendrick's average through the year is. It's probably got to be almost 50 points, I bet.
Well, I think it's even higher than that.
Yeah.
I think they're somewhere around 65 points a game. It's one of those you got to hire your local accounting department to figure that out, because it is way, way up there as we start winding down to the end of the end of the halftime session here. Let's look at the resumes of these two teams. For Meridian, and I don't mean these teams, I mean these schools historically. Meridian, they're state champions in 86, in 05, and 07. Highland. Don't hold your breath here, but I'm going to have to breathe a few times. 84, 87, 93, 95, 97, 98, 2000, 02, 08, 14, 17. And of course, go back to that 17. Who was the big player that played on that team at that time? Pardon me, not 17, back to 08, sorry. Taysom Hill was on that team at that time, of course, now a great player. He's had 2 great weeks in a row in the NFL with the Saints. So 11 total state championships for Highland. And it's neat. We're sitting here, Sean, in this, what I grew up calling the mini dome.
Yeah, me as well.
Holt Arena. And you see down there on the east wall, 1981 national champions. They've had some great players that have come out of here as well. Merrill Hodge, of course, being one of those as well. But you look down, Big Sky champions in 63, 81, 2002. Rocky Mountain champions, you go back to the 50s, 52, 53, 55, 57, and 59. And, they got Coach Cody Hawkins here now. And he's doing a great job. I've made the comment this year that I think if Idaho State can keep Cody Hawkins around, if they can keep him around for at least 5 years, I think they win a Big Sky championship in that time. If they can keep him for 10 years, I think after that 5th year, they become one of the top 3 teams in the Big Sky every year and have possibly a chance to win another national championship if Cody Hawkins can stay here for that many years.
Yeah, you get the feeling like it's a turnaround here in Bengal Nation. I'm an ISU graduate myself, alumni, and I was here for the 2002 Big Sky Championship, and that was a good team. I had some friends that I went to high school with that played on it. Brandon Minier, a really good tight end out of Pocatello High School, and and Jared Allen. Remember, you might know him. He played a little bit in the NFL.
Played for the Vikings. He was a great player.
Played for the Bears a little bit too, and he's been trying to make the national curling team, but so it's you want ISU to do well. If you're living Pocatello, it's you're really hoping for some good season, some good momentum. Get that fire back in this greatly beautiful renovated Holt Arena. It's just amazing the difference in here from my childhood.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. What they've done on the opposite side of us, we're over on the scorekeeper side, or over where the broadcast booths are. You look over on the other side, you got the Idaho Central Credit Union President's Deck up there, and you've got this, the whole stadium's bucket seats, but you got special seating, places where they can serve them food before the game, even during the game. It's a beautiful area for fans to sit and watch a game, and of course they got the beautiful new turf down on the field. I was down before the games today, before the Sugar Weezer game, talking to coaches, getting roster, pronunciations, things like that. It's such a nice field to walk down on. It's much better than the old 1980s, 1990s.
Oh yeah,
basically carpet.
I feel like when you get hit that turf, there's a little more cushion than back in the day when I was a little kid running around and tackling my friends.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, a big shout out to our local sponsors in this game. Lookout Credit Union, Valley Office Systems, Franklin Building Supply, Bringhurst Family Dentistry, Primetime Auctions, Big Judd's, Howell Orthodontics, and Donna Jaca. She is a loan officer, and we get ready to start half number 2. And Meridian's going to get the ball to start half number 2 as they won the toss and they deferred. And we'll see what kind of adjustments were made at halftime, because there was no stellar scoring in the first half. I think for the defenses, you say, guys, let's keep doing what we're doing. You know, let's keep meeting people at the line, not letting them get out in distance, those kind of things. But for the offenses, both of them have things to work on where they've got to try to find those gaps in the defense.
Yeah, if you're Meridian, 2 turnovers and down and a block punt and only to be down 7, I think you feel like you're still in a good spot for this game.
These games, of course, being played tonight as Idaho State has another home game tomorrow here in the Dome. This goes back into the end zone off the foot of Eunice. As Cole Jones catches it. Come out by rule to the 20-yard line.
If I'm not mistaken, is tomorrow the Hawkins Bowl. He's going against his dad.
It is. It is. Of course, they had a heartbreaking loss last week to Weber State. Had a great opportunity to step up and win that ball game, but they played tough against San Diego State, D1 opponent to start the season. Had a rough game against Utah State, who knocked off San Diego State last week, but they've just had some very close games that they just couldn't quite get that victory in, and so the record really isn't indicative of how far Cody Hawkins has brought this program. Now we got Byington on the run. He picks up a first down with a 16-yard gain out across the 35-yard line to the 36.
And Byington has been the difference for Meridian tonight. He's just been phenomenal.
Well, and previously he's done it going out to the edges on that. That one he went right up the A gap on the left side, right off that left guard, and held him tight and then picked up the yards from there. This time under center is Martinez. He's got a single receiver. This time they're getting it off for another good gain, just short of the first down marker to number 2, Marco Del Rio, who kind of bobbled at first and got tripped up a little bit, but kept his feet enough to just kind of bounce, sidestep down for an 8-yard gain on the play.
Backwards, he was running backwards and kept his balance, which, I have a hard enough time walking up the stairs here at the altar.
Wow, they're going to actually give him the first down on this play. So it was exactly a 10-yard run. It'll be 1st and 10, ball placed on the 46-yard line on their own side of the field. And Meridian comes out with 2 good offensive plays to start this. Just underway in quarter number 3, Lance Taylor, Sean Kane. It's Del Rio again. He's going to pick up positive yardage on the play. Finally brought down by Riddle. Pardon me, that was Beckles, Tyson Beckles. We'll see exactly where they're going to put this. Right now, they're putting the down mark. Yeah, it looked like to me that it was about a 6-yard gain on the play. It is. Brings up a 2nd and 4. 7-0 is your score. The Rams on top. Quarter number 3. Good crowd out tonight.
Oh, yeah. Both teams, well, Highland didn't have to travel too far. Like our first game, Sugar versus Weiser, both teams traveled.
Byington again picks up the first down again. He's brought down by Eunice, the second leading tackler on this Highland team.
And I'm not exactly sure what, halftime adjustments Meridian has made, but whatever their offensive line coaches talked about, it's working.
It's because they're running between the tackles.
Yeah.
Something that just wasn't giving them yardage in the first. In fact, the only guy really that ran through the tackles and had success in the first half was Martinez, and that's oftentimes came on kind of a broken play. Up under center is Martinez. To the backfield, he fumbles it. It looks like he hops back on it. He does so. There'll be no loss on the play, as it was a fumble on the exchange. Actually, they're going to give him a loss of 1. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Eunice, we talk about him being the second leading tackler, also the kicker on this team. When we had him earlier in the season, the first 9 points put up, the first 10 points put up were all Eunice.
Yeah.
It was a pick 6, and then and he got the extra point, and then he kicked a field goal. So it was Eunice, at that point it was Eunice 10 and Pocatello 0. Up under center is Martinez. Byington again. Boy, he's a tough assignment for any defender on that field. Brought down by a couple. It was actually Beckles on the play along with Eunice that brought him down. There was 2 of them on that play. So they'll each get a half a tackle stat on that. But as it is, it's 3rd and 9, and now Meridian kind of finding themselves in a similar position to what they had several times in half number 1, a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and they've been able to get into the Highland side of the field, but just not able to capitalize when they're kind of in this area around the 40, 30-yard line. Highland fans getting loud.
This time from the shotgun. First time we've seen the shotgun in the second half from Martinez. He goes out to his receiver. It's good. He's going to be just short of the first down marker. Once again, it's going to be, it's Griffin Deere again. And again, this is almost the exact same place on the field that they 2 previous times had a 4th and 1.
Yeah,
both times stopped by Highland.
Same old story, right? Guy meets girl and it's 4th and 1.
Yeah, well, and I like, each time they've been stopped on that, they've tried to go up the gut, haven't been able to get it. Now, they've gone between the tackles a little better in the second half so far. Is it good enough to stay with that on this 4th down? Or do you hit the edge?
Or maybe take a shot here.
And we're going to get a timeout. It's going to be taken by Meridian. And we'll get a word from our sponsors here. Big Judd's is one of the most fun and unique dining experiences in Idaho. They hand-make burger patties every day and only use fresh local produce. And, of course, Big Judd's only uses Idaho potatoes for their famous fresh-cut fries. By the way, if you're up for a challenge, try the Big Judd's special world-famous 1-pound burger, maybe if I was still in my 20s, with all the fixings plus a basket of large fries. Finish in less than 30 minutes, and you get your picture on the Wall of Fame. Stop in and say hi. Big Judd's is at 3030 East Overland Road, right by Majestic Theater in Meridian. Big Judd's is Meridian proud to support student athletes. Howell Orthodontics in Meridian welcomes patients of all ages with their family-friendly atmosphere, from a 7-year-old's first orthodontic consultation to a teenager's braces or Invisalign treatment, all the way up to mom and dad getting their turn later on in life. Howell Orthodontics will keep you smiling through all of your appointments. They also make pain for your treatment a breeze by offering low down and 0% financing. Browse their website to learn more at HowellOrthodontics.com. And we're going to see if Meridian can finally go 1 for 3 on 4th down conversions. This time they give it to Byington, and he is going to pick it up. He picks up about 4 yards on the play, down to the 26, 1st and 10 Warriors.
And if I had to bet money on who was going to get the ball, I would have bet money on Byington, because he started out this second half just phenomenal, and a good job by the Meridian offensive line there too. And the running room is getting a little bigger here for Meridian.
Well, and when you combine offense and defense, I think Byington has been the best player on the field today for Meridian. Byington has it again. This time he goes between the tackles. He picks up significant yards. It's going to be about a 9-yard gain on the play. It's going to bring up a second and really kind of a short one for where Byington came down. Colton George on the tackle. Terrence Tissitamit, I believe is how you say that, was also in on that tackle. First time we've called his name today as he came up and helped stop that from being a first down. Up under center, it's Martinez. He goes right back to Byington. No, he keeps it. He drops off the left-hand side, and he gets in for the first Meridian touchdown of the ball game. It's actually Colt Jones. I think it was a direct snap to Colt Jones, and he goes 17 yards. So Colt Jones picks it up as they now go for the extra point on the field. Number 25, DeVito Okito, another great sports name, to attempt the extra point. Okito had a good kicking game when they were down at Highland earlier this year. This one is up, this one is good, and now we're knotted at 7 apiece. Donajeka, MLO 13100, certified mortgage advisor with Clear Mortgage, is committed to working with clients from a never give up mindset. Dona is a native Idahoan who has worked in mortgage lending for 28 years. Clear Mortgage, powered by City First Mortgage, NMLS 3117, is licensed in 46 states and offers a variety of lending choices to suit your needs. Dona is local in Meridian and would love to chat about your home loan needs. 208-794-3371. That's how you can get a hold of her. Dona Jaka at Clear Mortgage is proud to support Meridian High School athletics. Dona Jaka, NMLS 13100. Franklin Business Supply is a proud supporter of local student athletes and all of the building professionals in eastern Idaho. Their friendly and knowledgeable team is ready to help you make your project a success from start to finish. Franklin Building Supply in Pocatello, they say it's worth the trip. We get ready now for Meridian to kick off 7-7. All knotted here from the Dome in Pocatello. It's Holt Arena. Kickoff goes back through the end zone by rule. Come out to the 20-yard line on a touchback.
Both teams have great kickers. It's nice to see at this level, right? Both teams being able to kick that ball for a touchback. But nice job by Meridian to get on the board here at the start of the third quarter. It's much needed.
Well, it was. They had just, they'd had a couple opportunities as they got in some decent scoring position a couple times, but penalties took them out of it. It's going to be Riddle with the carry, just a 2-yard gain. So Gabe Martinez on the tackle first. I got to give thanks to Matt Harris, the PA announcer, for that one. I couldn't quite catch the uniform of it, and he saw. Of course, he did a lot of games here for IdahoSports.com. Him and I probably did a couple hundred games together. Happy to be here right now with Sean Kane. We're going to go with Riddle again. He's off the right side. If he can beat this defender, he might go all the way. They're going to try to angle him, but as it is, he's going to go untouched. That is a 78-yard touchdown for Jackson Riddle at the 5:54 mark. It just became a foot race, and he took the tape.
Yeah, Riddle bounced off one player and could have had a tackle. Meridian could have tackled him, but Riddle's so hard to bring down. And once Riddle gets that breakaway going, it's off to the races, and what a run.
And if you're Meridian, what you can't do is come out and trade touchdowns with Highland.
Yeah, Meridian's offense a little more, they're going to take their time, work their way into it, which they have this game. And Highland has that quick play ability, and it's just on display there.
And Eunice able to pick up the conversion as well. Valley Office Systems is proud to support the Highland Rams. They don't just sell you equipment. Yes, they offer great solutions like copiers, printers, and software, but they're a service company above all else. They're committed to providing their clients the right solution for their needs with amazing customer service and support no matter what. That's Valley Office Systems. Bringhurst Family Dentistry offers affordable, complete dental care for your whole family and has been serving Pocatello for over 40 years. New patients are always welcome and emergency care is available. They'll take care of you and your family. Areas that they can help with include professional teeth whitening, implants, bridges, braces, extractions, and dentures. Bringhurst Family Dentistry is located at 1175 Call Place, Suite 200 in Pocatello. You can also simply call them at 208-232-1260. That's Bringhurst Family Dental. So at the 5:54 mark in quarter number 3, we have more points between these two teams than we did the entire first half.
Yeah, just in roughly 2 minutes, all these points happened.
Every kick so far by each team has gone into the end zone, and into the end zone on flight, not just hitting the ground and rolling in there. It's gone in there, and we, of course, saw that by Weiser in our previous game.
Yeah.
As their kicker did an excellent job as well. Ball by rule will be placed on the 20-yard line for the touchback, 1st and 10, Meridian. Still waiting to see what a final happens in that Hillcrest Skyline game. Our last update in the fourth quarter was a 35-31 game. Out of the 4A division, where Bishop Kelly on a 28-18 victory over Pocatello punched their ticket to the state championship. Run goes by Byington. He goes off the right tackle to get it. Brought down finally by number 11 for Meridian, Griffin Deer. Pardon me, it's Colton George. Pardon me, I was looking on the wrong side of Meridian. It was actually number 11, Colton George, not number 11, Griffin Deer. That would have been odd.
Yeah, that might have not been the play they'd drawn up. Get tackled by your own player.
That's right, that's right. Up under center again is Martinez. He's got 2 eligible receivers. Man in the backfield as well. Misdirection play. This time it goes to number 2, Marco Del Rio, a name that we called a lot in the first matchup between these two teams this year. We have not called his name a lot this year. He has had a couple receptions on the game as well. He's able to pick up 2 yards after the 3-yard gain by Byington. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. It's actually 3 yards, so each run has brought 3 yards apiece. 3rd and 4. Remember, on the last possession for Meridian, which they scored, they went for it again for the 3rd time on a 4th and 1, and this time got the conversion, which ended up leading to an eventual touchdown. Touchdown by Cole Jones. Under 4.5 to go in quarter number 3. Martinez pops back, being pressured in the backfield. He looks to scramble out. He's finally going to throw the ball out of bounds. And what a great veteran move by Zeke Martinez. That's a mature move.
Yeah, and you know, Highland's defense there wasn't a sack there, but that's as much as a cover sack as you're ever going to get. All the secondary of Highland was tight coverage.
That's right.
And there's nowhere for him to throw.
So now they got 4th and 4, and this is a certain punt position, as you don't want to take a chance on a 4th here. Now, there might be an opportunity to, you know, fake the punt, but you're not going to go for it on 4th and 4 from the line of scrimmage. Snap is a good one. Kick is up. This one's going to be fieldable. It's going to be Barella. Now we're going to get a block in the back right off the bat, but no penalty flag was thrown. It looked like a block in the back. So Barella, after the kick by Martin. A good field position to start out with, 41-yard line. Primetime Auctions in Pocatello is the place to be for all your bidding needs. They have something for everyone, from vehicles to plants to office equipment and electronics. Be sure to check Primetime Auctions before heading to the store. Chances are you're going to find something you're looking for anyway. Bid anytime, anywhere online at primetimeauctions.com. It's going to be a keeper by Hymas. He goes to the outside looking for the potential pitch to Riddle. The defender committed to Riddle, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play, bring up a 2nd and 6. Pardon me, 2nd and 4.
And Drew Hymas has just been, I think, rock solid in that quarterback position. He's made good decisions out of that run-pass option, and you know, made passes when he need to, and ran it when he needs to. And Drew Hymas has been on target today.
So your 4A state championship matchup is going to be a matchup of undefeateds, as it will be Bishop Kelly, and the Hillcrest Skyline game just went final 35-31. So for the 2nd time this year, Hillcrest has knocked off Skyline. The first time was on a Hail Mary pass caught by BYU basketball commit Isaac Davis. And downfield we have Barella. He catches the ball, and he escapes the defender. The defender, number 27, Davey Shellhouse, unable to bring him down, and Barella goes in for his 2nd passing touchdown of the game. It's a 53-yard touchdown reception.
And interesting on that play, one of the Meridian players thought the other player was there to help him and didn't quite bring him down. Ridge Barrera able to escape that tackle to get the 10 extra yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, does a great job. And now we're seeing more of that high octane that you expect out of Highland. And now we're going to get a half the distance to the goal as a penalty flag comes out. It was a great effort by number 59, Carson Gooley, who decided to try to time that snap. Found himself in the backfield as he just runs past the line.
And then as he's going back, he's just like, hands up, sorry guys. And
oftentimes a team will try to punish you now by going for it. Meaning for a 2-point conversion on this. As it is, Eunice is going to stay on, and he's going to attempt the extra point. Snap is good, kick is up. Kick looks good from our angle. We'll see. No, it's no good. It goes off to the right. That's the second chip shot that Eunice has missed today. Very unlike Eunice. And of course, a tough angle for us to see as well.
Yeah, I would highly doubt Eunice has missed 2 in any game that close this year.
Yeah. So that should be quite the matchup. So the 3A state championship will be here in the Dome regardless. No matter who wins tomorrow out of Homedale and Teton, because Sugar won it. And it'll be here this year. As on rotation last year, it was played up at Middleton. Then for the 2A, it should be played here.
Yeah.
For 1AD1, we anticipate it will be played here. 1AD2 will probably be played up north. 4A should be played here. And 5A could potentially be played here. I don't know the exact rotation for 5A, so I'll have to see if it would be here, or if Coeur d'Alene goes on to win this, then it would be, and Coeur d'Alene did. Coeur d'Alene went on final to beat Eagle, so Coeur d'Alene has punched their ticket, so I don't know if it's going to be up in the Kibbe Dome or down here. If Meridian wins this game, I don't know if it's in the Kibbe Dome or at Albertsons.
I'm pretty sure if Highland wins, it's in here at the Holton.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But if it's Meridian that went on to win, I think it is, let's see, they played at Albertson Stadium last year against Rigby, and I think against Coeur d'Alene it would be in the Kibbe Dome. But I'm not sure. And again, like always, you can log on to IdahoSports.com and you can find out.
We could just give him Brandon Bainey's phone number over the air and call him. He's not doing anything right now.
Brandon would love that. He's a little bit sick today. Didn't have much of a voice going. 1 yard gain on the play from the line of scrimmage. I think that was Byington.
Yep.
Byington. That's about the shortest gain that he's got as he picks up 1 yard on it. The kickoff had gone back to the end zone again, brought out by rule to the 20-yard line.
Meridian's still kind of looking for their big play of the game, right? They really haven't had kind of that big play ability that Highland has had so far.
From the shotgun is Martinez. He's got single coverage to the left. He goes there, has his receiver. He catches it. He's going to get some forward progression. This should be a first down. I think they cheated him by about a yard. The great catch by Cole Jones, who has scored their only touchdown today. Either way, it's going to be a 1st and 10, about a yard difference between where he caught it and where they marked it.
A first down there.
Now we're down just about to the 2-minute mark of quarter number 3. The second half has gone a lot quicker. Not so many penalty flags as we had in half number 1. And most of those penalty flags came in the second period.
Yeah, second quarter, there was quite a bit.
See, I'm getting close to basketball again. Second period, rebound. Martinez again, being chased in the backfield. Has some open receivers, chooses to keep it. Instead, as he was going to be on the run for that whole thing, he ends up picking up 7 yards, but it looks like it's going to be a late hit. There's a penalty flag.
Colton George hit him. It was close.
Well, I think what happened is he hit him, and he would have been fine as he went out of bounds, but he did kind of an extra shove just as they got to that sideline, or across that sideline. So unnecessary roughness, and that's a 15-yard personal foul penalty. So this ball goes from Meridian territory into Highland territory. Ball will be placed down on the 48-yard line on the Highland side of the field. 1st and 10 Warriors. Martinez brings the play in. Warriors desperate for a touchdown as we are just above the minute-and-a-half mark in quarter number 3. Came out and did a great job on their first possession, scoring a touchdown in the second half, and then have given 2 up since to Highland. Byington off the left side. He goes off the left tackle. Finally, Eunice is able to bring him down, but Byington, with that big body of his, ends up taking him about another 6-7 yards from the point of contact before he brings him down, and it's a first down Meridian.
You thought he was going to get away from Eunice. Eunice did not let go, lockjawed onto him, but unfortunately Eunice's spin tackle took him forward for extra yards. Yeah, this is Meridian's 3rd possession of the game. They've only gotten 1 score. Highland's had 2 possessions and 2 scores, and that's the difference in the score so far.
This time they give it off to Del Rio. Del Rio ends up breaking through several tackles, picks up another first down, this time down inside the 25-yard line. He went right up the gut, and what the place that was the hardest for them to run in half number 1 has become kind of their go-to in half number 2 between the tackles.
Yeah, Meridian's most successful plays have been running in between the tackles up the middle of the field, and it's been working well. Not too many passes this point in the second half for Meridian. The run game working well.
And now brought down in the backfield. It's going to be Del Rio, as he's going to end up with a 2-yard loss in this play, maybe even 3 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 13. Eunice is the one that got into the backfield. Once again, the second leading tackler on this Rams group.
And Eunice always comes from somewhere else to make the tackles too. That's, you got to give credit to him, his ability to find where the ball's going to go, and you got to credit their coaches for getting him in those positions.
And now it's Martinez with the keeper, and he takes an additional yard loss on the play, brought down in the backfield. This time getting in there early, Cody Height got in there. First time we've called Height's name tonight, but you know what? A sack from Height, yeah, he's their leading sacker. You have Height and Harding both with 3 apiece coming into this game today. So it's going to be Butte County and Oakley for the 1A D1 championship next week. That should be played here in the Mini Dome as well. Oakley going for their 3rd in a row. As far as 1A D1, as far as the 1A D2 bracket goes, we know that Camas County punched their ticket today. Trying to get into where the 1A D2 bracket is. And there we go. And then Camas County's already made it, knocking off Rockland. And then tomorrow it'll be Hagerman and Kendrick. That game will actually be played at Hagerman last week. Kendrick beat Dietrich, a good Dietrich team, 90-0. And just so you know, those of you who have never seen 8-man football before, it's some of the funnest football you're ever going to watch on this planet. It is awesome football. And 90 points, that's still high, but it's not out of the question. You see a lot of games in the 70s and 80s in 8-man football.
I got to see Oakley Raft River a couple years ago in Raft River, and it was one of the most fun games I've ever got a call on. And it's high octane, high action all the time.
So Brennan Jones, the coach of Oakley, done a great job there. Brennan and I grew up together in Cedar City, Utah as little kids before I moved for high school to Idaho. And of course he came up here, he's a farmer. They were dairy farmers down just north of Cedar City. As the pass was attempted to Carver Martin, no good. And guess who's on the breakup? We haven't called his name much tonight, but that's because they haven't thrown his direction a lot. That's Kai Callan.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw that way. Kai Callan, in my opinion, one of the best defensive backs in 5A, and his speed is unmatched.
You know, and sometimes some of your better DBs, you don't end up calling their name a lot Because teams won't throw at him because of the success that they had at other times.
A lot of times teams don't want to run to the side that he's covering either because he has that breakaway speed to make up yards when going to tackle.
Just underway here in quarter number 4. Meridian going right to left as we see it, and you hear it. In the backfield, they go after Martinez. He has to cut off. They're going to get a hold in the backfield. He's going to throw it to the end zone, and it was no good anyway, but I think we're going to get the hold in the backfield. It's going to bring it back another 10 yards.
And that was another 4th down play for Meridian right around that 30-yard line.
Yeah, and it's just simply going to be declined to not give them another chance as Highland now will take over. 11:42 remaining in the ball game. 20-7 is your score. Highland on top. The only part they haven't held serve on was missing an extra point. So unlike Eunice, who missed a pitch shot
and a field
goal
yeah.
earlier in the game as well, and just so unlike him, which means if they win, he'll be looking for a little redemption next week. Of course, Coeur d'Alene already punched their ticket. Low scoring affair against Eagle, who's your #1 ranked team, pretty much from wire to wire. Handoff goes to Riddle. Riddle able to pick up 5 yards on the play. We'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Great tackle by Shellhouse. Shellhouse was the one that had a chance to tackle Barella on that long pass and just was unable to get him wrapped enough to do it, as Barella has that low center of gravity.
Yeah, if you try to tackle Barella high, it's difficult because he can get lower than you. he can get lower than anyone else.
Yeah, he can. He certainly can. Jackson Riddle again, and now you do have a big enough lead. It's not out of control lead, but you have a big enough lead, and it's the 4th quarter that you do have to start thinking of the clock a little bit. And this is going to bring up a 3rd and 4 after the 2 carries from Jackson Riddle.
And I think if you're Meridian too, you have to be careful because this is where Highland likes to take those kind of big shots or those big plays in situations like this.
They do, because they've sucked in a lot of your defenders in those scenarios. Coming off the right side, it's going to be Riddle again. We're going to get a holding call in the backfield. As it stands, he's picked up the 1st down, and we'll see. It might have even been a face mask, but it looked to me like it was a hold. So we'll see exactly what this flag is going to bring. Yeah, it is going to be holding. That's what I thought I saw on the play. That's going to move them back. It's a spot foul. Brings it back for a 3rd and 14. You know, and this is a place where oftentimes you'll see them spread with their receivers. They got quads right, single left, and then it opens it up for a run by Drew Hymas. Man in motion, it's Riddle. Riddle will be in single coverage. They look to the left, and they're going to bring him down. No, he escapes the sack in the backfield. He keeps the ball, comes out near the 30-yard line. It's not going to be good enough for a 1st down, but he avoided a disaster inside the 10-yard line.
And that was number 30 of Meridian. McDaniel almost had Hymas. I mean, he had Hymas wrapped up, and I don't know how Hymas got out of there.
That's right. That was just a crazy sequence of events.
Highland will definitely punt here.
And back deep to receive is Del Rio. Pardon me, it's Cole Jones. Kick goes up. It's fieldable. Jones has it. He's going to keep it. He's out across the 40, sneaks to the left, still is on his feet, finally brought down at the 45-yard line on their own side of the field. But you know what? 9:29 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. This is great starting field position for the Warriors of Meridian.
I have to say tonight, I like Highland's uniforms. They got the all black, red numbers, black helmet with like a shiny silver Ram logo. I like that look.
It's a little bit easier to read. That's why, I'd done a game earlier this year. It was in the Rocky Mountain Rumble at Madison High School, and a team from St. George, Desert Hills, came up and participated in that. They wore white uniforms with bright, almost faded gold, and we could not see the numbers from where we were sitting. I talked to an official after the game who said we couldn't even read them down on the field. It was that bad. Martinez out to his left. He crosses his body with the pass. And it was just no good. Intended for Cole Jones on the defensive assignment. On the other side was number 1, Brennan Carlson. And I'll tell you, Highland might have got away a little bit with a roughing the passer on that, or unnecessary roughness. It looked a little late, and they hit him pretty hard. Again, there's no replay in high school football, at least no replay as far as rule goes, to overrule something or change a play.
Meridian's got that classic look, white jersey, yellow pants, yellow helmet.
Yeah. 2nd and 10. Martinez again in the backfield. He's being chased. He escapes 2 defenders. Finally gets out to the left side on his feet, picks up yardage, picks up a first down, and is finally brought down after a 17-yard gain on the play.
Martinez just...
It was Kai Callan that finally brought him down. He had to go low and hit him just to bring him down, because that's a definite size mismatch when you got the full speed of Zeke Martinez.
Zeke Martinez is like deceptionally big, right? He doesn't look gigantic from the field, but once he gets out in the open and starts running, he looks like a running back.
Well, especially when you see him lined up against a corner who has to step up and make that tackle. And he doesn't wear his uniform big, and I know that sounds funny, but you see players who wear their uniform big. He doesn't do that. He's got the smaller shoulder pads, and he gets brought down in the backfield. And he's brought down this time by number 33, Markel Bowens. And we do have a penalty flag in the back, and I think it's a holding as well. And if that is the case, they'll take the holding call rather than the sack, if it's Highland.
Yeah, because the sack's, about 5-yard loss, and the holding will be 10.
Head referee Blair People talking with the Highland coaches to see if they want to decline this or not. We still haven't seen the exact call, so at this point it's still up in the air. It is a 6-yard sack as it sits, but it is going to be holding. It's going to be declined. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of from the line of scrimmage in this case is where it was. No, it was a spot foul just inside, so they will move it back, the ball to the 48-yard line.
And this has kind of been Meridian's problem, right? They've gotten to the other side of the field, and penalties have brought them all the way back on numerous occasions tonight.
It's going to be 2nd and 20 essentially. Going downfield, good pass by Martinez. All the way down, we're going to get a pass interference. This pass interference is going to go on Carlson. As Carver Martin, it was a great pass. It was double coverage, but as it is, pass interference by Carlson. A 15-yard penalty.
And I think if Carlson would have known the help was coming from the other side,
that he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done it, but because the other defender of Highland, made a great play coming over to help in coverage. And
yep. That is not enough to give them the first down. It's 2nd and 4. Kind of a long 4, short 5. Out wide to the right is number 13, Bunderson. Bunderson with a nice catch in the first half. Across the middle, this one intended for number 11, Griffin Deere. But this one just had too much heat on it. It wasn't a bad pass, just a lot of heat on it.
Couldn't quite catch up. The receiver couldn't quite catch up to the velocity of the pass from Martinez.
Well, and Deere was open, and it's one of those that I think Martinez looks at and said, boy, I would sure love to have that pass back.
Yeah, he had some some room to run as well on that slant.
Nick Maloff with the great blocking on the line to give Martinez the time there. They're going to go with the same offensive set that they did last time, except for this time it's going to be trips right, twins left, nobody in the backfield. Martinez goes across the middle. This time he's got his trusty receiver, Levi Cat. Well, he called him Deer. I think this one went to Cat. No, it went to Deer. My bad. It went to Deer. Colton George is the one that came in on the tackle. This is going to be a first down from the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 Meridian. So they can get a first down without getting a touchdown. 8:23 remaining in the ball game. Pass goes out again to Griffin Deer, brought down by number 1 Carlson. And this is going to be a first down. It's going to be on the 6-yard line where it's going to be 1st and goal for the Warriors. You know, we've seen some fantastic quarterback play between these two games today.
Absolutely.
And it's Martinez. He's going to take the fake up the middle, and he's going to run in. He doesn't get touched till he's a couple yards in the end zone. What a great run by Martinez. A 6-yard scramble comes at the 7:55 mark in the ball game.
And now those extra points and, you know, missed field goals could be a factor.
They could. On to kick the extra point, number 25, DeVito Okito. Say that real fast 5 times.
No, thank you.
It's up, and this one is good. So they keep serve with touchdowns and extra points as far as now 20-14. And I'll tell you what, if you're Meridian, you don't feel bad about your position here. You get a stop here, and a touchdown and a converted extra point gives you a lead.
Yeah, and you just think back to the game that happened earlier this year. Highland won Meridian won 21-14, and our score here tonight's 20-14. So it's eerie how close it is, similar to that first game.
So once again, these are your matchups thus far for the championship week next weekend. Your 1A D2, Camas County's got in. We'll see what happens with Kendrick tomorrow. Butte County and Oakley will play for 1A D1. 2A will be Westside and Declo. 3A, Sugar Salem has punched their ticket. And tomorrow we will find out if it's Homedale or Teton. For 4A, Bishop Kelly and Hillcrest will play. For 5A, it is Coeur d'Alene, as they will take on the winner of this game. Right now, Bishop Kelly and Hillcrest is the only undefeated matchup that we have. Okito kicks off. This one's going to be short of the goal line. It's going to be returned, and this is going to be returned by Kite Callan. Kite Callan comes out to the right side, steps off some defenders, still on his feet, finally knocked out of bounds, but not until he gets out near the 35-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10, Highland Rams. You know, both of these teams have some very exciting returners on their teams, but because the kicking games are so good, ball goes into the end zone, we just don't get to see it a lot. That was the first time we've seen it on an actual kickoff today.
Yeah, that's the first run back, and you can see why you don't want to kick it to Kai Callan. Or Barrera, Ridge Barrera.
Jackson Riddle is going to take it for a 4-yard gain. Goes up the gut for that run. You know, and again, you've got to be conscious of the clock if you are Highland, but you also got to be conscious of making sure you keep your drive going by picking up first downs.
Yeah, at this point, you know, if I'm Highland, I don't want to take my foot off the gas. I want to get one more score and kind of put this game away.
It's Hymas from the shotgun. They're going to give him plenty of protection in the back. This goes to Riddle. He's going to be down for a loss on the play of 2 yards. And we are going to get a penalty flag. Not sure who this is going to be on, but this is going to be of the personal foul variety for unsportsmanlike.
And on the tackle from Meridian was 58, Dijon Curley. Nice job there.
There was some taunting that took place as it's starting to get a little bit chippy, and we'll see who this is against. Referee Blair Peepo in the white hat. That is so huge. Unnecessary roughness on a late hit goes against Meridian. Meridian fans don't like it. But I'll tell you what, Meridian has had 2 15-yard penalties based upon basically unsportsmanlike that have been very costly.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot. You have Riddle tackled for a loss, and now Highland moves to the other side of the field with a first down.
They are now on the 48-yard line on the Meridian side of the field. 2 in the backfield along with Drew Hymas. Twins left, single right. Man in motion, it's Riddle. Riddle pops to the left to make it trips. They go to him. No blockers out ahead of him. And a great play, that time by number 27, Davey Shellhouse. That's a loss of 2 yards on the play, brings up a 2nd and 12.
Yeah, Shellhouse read that play very well and was in there quickly, and there was no blockers on that quick run out to the side.
Ball placed right on the 50-yard line at midfield, 2nd and 12. Fans for both sides now getting noisy, trips right. 1 in the backfield, it's Riddle. Shotgun goes to Hymas. It's now a reverse handoff to Hymas. It was an off-direction handoff, not to Hymas, to Riddle from Hymas. He picks up 6 yards on the play, brings up a 2nd and 4. 3rd and 4. So he actually picked up 8 yards on the play.
Riddle's helmet came off, so he's going to have to go to the sideline.
Yep. Riddle, one of those great players out of the backfield. Again, not only is he their leading rusher with over 130 yards per game, but he's also, 117 yards per game, but he's also their all-purpose leader with 179 yards per game. He's one of those trusty sources out of the backfield, particularly as a check-down receiver if needed.
Yeah, they also like to run a lot of slants too to Riddle.
This time the carry is by Beckles, and he gets pulled down, and it's going to bring up 4th down. And now this is a little bit more of a tougher decision time, as the ball is going to be placed on the 41-yard line on the Meridian side of the field. In most games, this is go for it territory, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Now, remember that that they also have that option because Hymas is their punter as well, and so sometimes he'll line back as if he's going to punt it and end up throwing it or running it, and sometimes he lines up from a shotgun position as if he's going to throw it and ends up with a pooch punt. Now he drops back for the punt. And we're going to get, I believe this is going to be a timeout that was called by Zamberlin. John Zamberlin, the coach of Meridian, over on the other side. We'll see. It looked like it was going to be a timeout. No, it's going to be a false start against Highland, and that is extremely costly because that turns it from a pretty much a guaranteed go for it into territory.
We're probably going to punt it now.
They're lining up as if they go for it, which means if he punts it, no one's going to be there to return it. He backs up a little bit now, and now we get, it's not a penalty flag this time, so we assume it's going to be a timeout. And you know what was odd was on the last one, previous one, I didn't see a penalty flag come out. They just blew their whistles. I didn't see a penalty flag.
Yeah, never saw a flag, and now we actually do have a timeout by Meridian.
You know what? We're going to take it as well on IdahoSports.com. We got 4:11 remaining in the ball game to see who plays for the state championship.
I love Lookout's campus branch, the vibe and the service. But with digital banking, it all comes to me. My customizable dashboard provides all my information: accounts, cards.
Anything else?
I'm good. Bill pay, even my credit score. Gotta go. I mean, you gotta go download this app and upload convenience today.
.4:11 up on the clock, 20-14 is your score. Highland up, but a crucial 4th and 8 for Highland. We assume that Drew Hymas will probably punt this. However, just in case, nobody's going deep back. Now they're getting just a little bit for Meridian. And Hymas is going to punt this. This is going to be a good punt. It's going to, oh boy, it's going to land inside the 10-yard line and bounce out to about the 12 or 13. It looks like the 13. So it works out to be a great punt for Highland and pretty much a full field to go for the Warriors of Meridian.
Yeah, and I thought it was a smart move by the Meridian returner to not go for it, but the way that ball bounced, it did not roll at all.
Well, it hit on the field at the 10-yard line, and based upon at least the speed that it was going, you anticipate that that's going to go from the 10 and just roll right into the end zone for a touchback and come out to the 20. As it was, it bounced right back 3 yards and got down to inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Martinez, in what might be their final possession of this ball game, goes from the shotgun, trips left, twins right. He comes out, the pass is complete to Colt Jones. Great defensive assignment by number 11, Colton George, but it's going to be positive yards on the play. It'll be about a 3-yard gain, bring up 2nd and 7. Going with no timeout, pardon me, with no huddle. Right now, Highland has all 3 timeouts. The Warriors have 1 remaining. Dropping back and coming out again to his receiver on the right. It falls short this time, intended for Griffin Deere. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. And right now, what you've got from Highland is you've got a lot of that bend, don't break defense going on. You know, they're going to go in that prevent and not give up anything deep.
Not anything big. Big 3rd down here for Meridian.
We are just under 3.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Clock is stopped because of the incomplete pass. Holt Arena, Pocatello, Idaho. Meridian going right to left, as we call it, and you hear it. From the shotgun, it's Martinez. He's going to run it. He's going to be brought down. He's going to get a 1-yard gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th and 6, and this is the most crucial 4th down of the ball game for Meridian.
And Meridian's had a lot of 4th downs throughout this game, and
they're going to say he didn't get past the line of scrimmage. In fact, they're going to give him about a half-yard loss. So now it's 4th and kind of a long 6, short 7.
Yeah.
So the ball's on the 16-yard line. Highland desperately looking for a stop. Meridian desperately looking to extend their drive. Trips right. Twins left from the shotgun. Martinez now goes out to the right side. Possibly could have ran for the 1st down. It goes downfield and goes off the outstretched hands of his receiver, Colt Jones. It's a turnover on downs. And with 1 timeout remaining, it is going to be awfully difficult for Meridian to not just have Highland run a couple plays and nil it down. You can call the 1 timeout. That's all you've got.
Yeah, and you know, I thought Martinez might run that. He had the room on the far sideline to maybe get the 1st down. I was really surprised he ended up throwing the ball.
So the ball is on the 16-yard line. And yeah, that's the thing, is he ran out. I said he could possibly run for that 1st down. There was nobody out ahead of him. Now, someone could have come back, and they could have met him, but I don't think until he had picked up the 1st down, possibly.
Yeah, there was no one in that side of the field anywhere. All the coverage was deep. I mean, someone might have met him, but I think he would have had a shot at it.
The one thing you don't know is if a defender's right on your heels behind you. That's what you don't know. Riddle has it. He gets out through the initial line, but gets tripped up. He gets tripped up defensively by Meridian. It does get down, it looks like, to about the 13-yard line. The tackle was made by number 37, LeGary Mitchell. First time we've called LeGary's name tonight, and I'll tell you what, that was a great ankle tackle, because had he not have got it, I think Riddle would have picked up the first down, if not the touchdown.
Yeah, I think that was going for a touchdown. And clock beginning a factor now as it's just 2 minutes to go here.
You know what's amazed me is how much both teams have run up the gut in the second half, just something that wasn't there in the first half. This time he's going to go to the right side and then turn up the middle. It's going to be Drew Hymas. And the Highland fans kind of wanted a unnecessary roughness on that. It was a good hard tackle. He spun him a little bit, but it wasn't out of control. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for Highland. And we're going to get, I think, what's going to be the final timeout taken by Meridian. It is with a $1:47 on the clock. You know what? We're going to take it as well. We'll get another word from Lookout Credit Union here on IdahoSports.com.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Special thanks to our local sponsors for this game. Dona Jaca, Certified Mortgage Advisor, MLO 13100. Howell Orthodontics, Big Judd's, Primetime Auctions, Bringhurst Family Dentistry, Franklin Building Supply, Valley Office Systems, and of course, Lookout Credit Union. 1:47 on the clock. This is your scenario. No timeouts remaining for Meridian, all 3 for the Rams. I doubt they'll need to use them. It is 3rd and 2. It's going to be Hymas with the carry. He gets down inside the 2-yard line. Looks like they'll probably bring him out to about the 3. It's quarterback keeper, and it's first down. They'll just be able to nil on it from here. I don't anticipate that they're going to try to pick up another score, as they can just nil on it with a $1:35 and 1st and goal.
Nice job by Hymas. Bounced off a Meridian defender, spun, and got a couple extra yards.
Well, for Highland, they punched their ticket for the state championship game against Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene's had a solid season this year, started their season knocking off your 2-time reigning state champions, Rigby. That was a neutral site game at Grizzly Stadium, University of Montana. Hymas takes that knee. Now we're going to wind down inside a minute before the next snap is taken. But for Highland, they able to avenge their only loss on the season, a 21-14 loss to Meridian, and had they have kicked that extra point, they would have avenged it by the exact same score, just switching the side.
Just flipped it.
As I think it's fair to say after 2 matchups that this is a very even matched up group that we see here with Meridian and Highland. I don't even think he's going to need to take another. Actually, no, they won't. Players are shaking hands out on the field. So, folks, the only thing that we have left here on IdahoSports.com is your IdahoSports.com player of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Transportation Department. So as soon as this official buzzer goes off, we're down to 6 seconds. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for post-game thoughts after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final score, the Highland Rams 20, and Meridian Warriors 14.
That is your final score, 20-14, Highland over Meridian. We'll be back after this.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Welcome back as Highland knocks off Meridian by a score of 20-14, basically just reversing the script of the score that they had in the first game when Meridian beat them 21-14. It was an exciting one here, the second half of a doubleheader for Sean Kane and myself on IdahoSports.com, but Highland just a little bit too much today for Meridian. And you know, even though it was 20-14, it really felt like like Highland won by a little bit more, but it was close, and Meridian had chances.
Yeah, you feel like the Highland defense was the reason why it never felt close. You know, they had 4 turnover and downs. You know, they don't go into the record book as turnovers, but in my book they are. They had a block punt. You just felt the Highland defense was able to hold serve more than, you know, the Meridian offense was able to convert.
Yeah, they sure did. Both teams came out and were able to run up the gut between the tackles in the second half, something they weren't able to consistently do in the first half. But it, again, you know, a couple long passes really benefited Highland in this. And, you know, Meridian, you feel bad for them. They lost a heartbreaker last year at Albertson's stadium there, the stadium home field of Boise State University on the Smurf turf, going down to Rigby. And then this one, you know, they had their opportunities. I think really the thing that hurt Meridian more than anything was a couple personal foul penalties that took them out of positions that would have been really good. One was a defensive situation where they had the stop but picked up, you know, the person fouling that, and the other one was the taunting penalty, which was very costly after a great reception. Well, the only thing left is the IdahoSports.com player of the game, and Sean, I'm going to turn that over to you.
Well, there was a lot of great options tonight, but for Highland, we're going to go with Ridge Barrera. He had 2 touchdown passes. One was the only score in the first half, a 22-yard pass from Drew Hymas in the end zone. He was wide open. It was the only score for either team in that first half. And then in the third quarter, Barrera got a 53-yard pass and catch and broke a pretty big tackle to get that touchdown. So congratulations to Ridge Barrera.
Today's player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game. Whether you're on the field or on the road, be in the moment and free from distractions. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2023 Idaho High School Football Playoffs, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department and IDEAL, Idaho's college savings program. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Valley-wide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Your Health Idaho, and of course your local Toyota dealers. The broadcast was also made possible by the great support from our local businesses: Primetime Auctions, Bringhurst Family Dentistry, Franklin Building Supply, Valley Office Systems, Lookout Credit Union, Big Judd's, Howell Orthodontics, and Dona Jaca Certified Mortgage Advisor MLO 131. Special thanks again to the IHSAA and everyone here at Holt Arena for their hospitality and help to get this game broadcast to you, the viewer. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Ridge Barella, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department. Thanks again for joining us as the Highland Rams knock off the Meridian Warriors by a score of 20-14, punching their way into the state championship game, trying to add to that 11 state championships that they already have. For my broadcast partner, Sean Kane, and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Lance Taylor saying so long.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Funds are limited. Apply today at nextsteps.idaho.gov/launch. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
Through storms and bad weather, sure as the sun.
These are hot chocolate milk. You're welcome.
From the desert to the freezing cold, wish I could see it from the stars.
Those are bagels with cream cheese. Can I get you anything else? Okay, great. Try it.
We're working together to build a more sustainable future. Learn more at unbottled.com.
This is not what I asked for.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Give the gift of college savings this holiday season with Ideal, Idaho's 529 college savings program. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
I love it. Thank you.
College costs money.
This has been a presentation